Hello. So for this training, we are going to be talking about the Industrial Hygienist Survey. It's a survey that happens every 2 years. AKF's last survey was in April of 2020. And the team came down from Naval Hospital and they walked through the workstation, and they were looking at all of the potential hazards that we face on an everyday basis. They looked at ergonomics, which is how well we fit our work to the natural state of the human body. As far as, are we having to bend over much to pick stuff up from the ground? How are our desks situated with the computers? They even have special ergonomic brooms and items like that to make sure that the work that we do most often is fitting with how our human body naturally needs to be. They look at our hazmat. How does our hazmat program and our hazardous material communications work? Are we storing our hazmat when it's not being used? Have we addressed all of the essential PPE needed for our hazmat? They look at our PPE. Are we using it? Is it in good condition? Is it being stored appropriately? They monitor the air. Okinawa is very, very wet. So mold spores are a big concern on the island of Okinawa. How can we mitigate that risk of having to breathe in these spores? And they give recommendations. So as far as mold spores, look out for them. If you see them, be proactive. Clean them. If they are so bad that we cannot clean them, get facilities involved to be able to make sure that we have a safe work center. And they look at the toxins that we use. This ties back in with hazmat. But some of the toxins that they outlined in our industrial hygiene survey is the exhaust fumes from the diesel trucks or from the forklift, the paints that we use. So we need to make sure that we are using things that give off noxious odors or toxic odors outside or in a well-ventilated area. Like in the OICR, we make sure we use everything within the fume hood that we test before we operate it every time. Other things that they will look at when they are doing the survey, they will monitor how much sound is used for everyday use as well as special use, discharging high pressure. They'll look at vibration. Are we so close to the flight line that it creates a hazard to us? Then they give us recommendations on risk and hazard controls. There's three main types. There is engineering, administrative, and then PPE. Anytime we can engineer the problem so it is a lesser effect or lesser risk, that is preferred. So we're gonna, for the example, we will use weight handling. I know it does not affect everybody in the work center, but everybody can understand it. So one of the major engineering controls that we have for the weights is the shape of the weights. The weights are engineered in such a way that most of them have the ability to be picked up more easily. It is not perfectly round. There are ridges or handles. An administrative control would be taking multiple breaks. If we have to move 2,000 pounds of weight, take a break whenever you're starting to get tired or fatigued. That is an administrative control. And lastly, we have PPE. So wearing gloves to make sure your fingers are not getting pinched, or maybe a back brace if you feel like that is necessary. So this is a very brief discussion on a very long document. I want to say our industrial hygiene survey was 35 pages long, and it's in the work center. So if you feel like you want to read it, feel free to, and let me know if you have any questions. If you have any additional risks that are not outlined in the IH survey, or if you have any ideas on how we can implement engineering, administrative, or additional PPE controls, please let me know. As always, stay safe. Thanks.